A 2013 UNDP study, it's a discussion paper, says Kenya's population is full of young men and women. It has, they call it a youth bulge. Could work both ways for Kenya, both as an opportunity and also a challenge. Long-term population changes and long-lasting economic stagnation resulted in large informal sector and strong pressure on the labor market. Large youth unemployment challenge in Kenya, where the youth cannot find a job in the formal sector, and it's making them so hard even to find a suitable job in the informal sector. In this same study, UNDP said that the Kenyan government has instituted a lot of programs to confront this challenge. And one of which is putting the technical, industrial, vocational education and training in its educational system. As a matter of fact, in 2013, Parliament has passed the TVET Act of 2013 to regulate and institutionalize vocational education in Kenya. However, both in the rural and urban areas in Kenya, negative perception towards vocational education still exists. Because as you can see in Kenya, education is they put a very, shall I say, a premium in education, which is good. That those who cannot pass the KCSE, this is the national exam that they have, are relegated to youth polytechnics, where boys are learning carpentry, masonry, and any roles that boys are relegated to for 2 years. And girls, on the same predicament, are studying dressmaking, hairdressing, cooking, and other roles again dictated to them by the society, again for 2 years. I don't say that these courses are bad. I'm just saying, not at all. I'm saying is, these courses are relegated to the sideline, when in fact the whole world are putting premium on vocational education, on vocational skills development. There was a study I made in 2013 in Kitui, which is a semi-arid area, covering Kitui, Garissa, Murang'a, and Nakuru, where I found that two-thirds of youth polytechnic students don't even want to use their skills that they acquired for 2 years while they are there. When I asked what do they want to do, they said, well, we want to move to the cities. They want to move to Nairobi, to Kisumu, or Mombasa. And to do what? A carpentry student who was about to graduate say to drive matatu. I think it's more lucrative to do matatu than being a carpenter. Girls, I asked, what do you want to do with your skill in hairdressing? They said they just want to move to Nairobi to find a job in hairdressing. If not, then a storekeeper or house helper. So they end up, most of them, here in Nairobi. They migrate to urban areas to find something for themselves, something for their families back home. And here in Nairobi, I walked with them from the ghettos, from Madare, Kariobangi, Dandora, even in Kibera. I walked with them in early mornings. Most of them walked to the factories and manufacturing companies in Mulolongo, even in Kitengela. They worked there hoping to land a job, to get them by for that day. But most of them will walk back home with nothing except hope that again tomorrow they'll find something. I came here in 2012 as a volunteer, a technical, vocational advisor. Actually, it's a cool name, a cool job description, for a plumber. I was recruited as a plumber. As a plumber in where? Kitui, of all places. Where Hakuna Maji? There's no water in Kitui, or even in Garissa. So yeah, I ended up advising youth polytechnics in Kativo, in Matinyani, in rural areas in Kitui and in Garissa, here in Nairobi, to make a difference, to change lives, is the motto of my organization. I came with the preconceived ideas of how to change, how to make a difference. But what I saw and encountered in Kenya instead changed me. As a matter of fact, really changed me. The first hour that I arrived in Kenya, I was billeted in a hotel. Someone came into the hotel, into my room while I was in the shower, took all my money away. They left me with my coins, my Philippine coins. I reported to my organization on a Monday after 2 days of not eating, and all they say is the same. How do you say when someone visits you in Kenya? How do you say it? Karibu Kenya, exactly. They said Karibu Kenya. I said, what? Karibu Kenya. I said, it's as if it's just normal in Kenya. I worked in the Ministry of Youth and Sports then, before the devolution. And I was surprised at how things are so slow. They even come to a halt. At how Kito Kidogo, I call it KK, is an everyday thing on the road. I drive a motorbike in Kitu, and every day I have to do something about passing by the road. And I thought it was normal, but it was. It's not my country, not in anywhere. But here in Kenya, I said it's normal. At even how my organization lacked compassion even. That even when typhoon devastated my island and my school in the Philippines, they destroyed everything. 14 of my neighbors died instantly in the typhoon in 2014. They didn't even give me a ticket to go back home. So I was stuck in Kenya. I was so bitter. I was so bitter about the frustrated as well of the negative experiences that I have in Kenya. Our house was broken into twice. Twice broken into. And the last time they went with everything. They moved us without us. And I've been to jail thrice here in Kenya. One for being a Muslim. They told me, you look suspicious, you come with us. So I went to jail. It's okay. But still, even despite all this, I still hope that living and working in the ghetto has changed me actually, my perception. Especially when I talked to an elder in Nyeri. I was so frustrated. I said, this Kenya is giving me a hard time. He said, well, don't tell me about what Kenya is. We know about it. We know about what we are Kenyans. Tell me what you can do to change things. It was a challenge. It was a challenge for me. And I said, yeah, what can I do? Once I went to Madare, where my school is, we saw this fire. A fire truck came, 3 firemen on board, and the families just went into the hose, do the hose. This family doesn't have any, poke a hole in it, and this is. So what I saw from this is, anywhere you go, as they said, the singer said, the ghetto is not only about the bad things. There's hope amid desperation in the ghetto. There's hope. And every time I go to my school, every time I look at the youth that I train, I see hope in their faces. I see hope in everything they do. To tell me that I can do something about this. I was reminded by a movie. Do you recognize this movie? I think it's Evan Almighty. A conversation between God and Evan, who's a reluctant prophet. Yes. He said, let me tell you what, when you ask God for patience, does God give you patience right away? Or does He give you the opportunity to be patient? When you ask God for courage, does God give you courage, or does God give you the opportunity to be courageous? When you ask God that a family will love each other, does God just zaps you with fuzzy feelings and say, hey, you love each other? Or does God give you the opportunity to love and care for each other? What was missing in all this when I came to the ghetto, when I talked to people in the ghetto, what was missing was the opportunity. The opportunity that I have, actually. What do I have? I have the skill to teach. I've been teaching vocational courses in the Philippines. I've been teaching in the slums as well in the Philippines. But I can teach still. I still have my voice. I still have my ability to teach. And that I also have the ability to give. And in the ghetto, everyone has the ability to learn. And everyone has the ability to give. I instituted a program in the ghetto that I call it a pay-forward system. A system of teaching vocational education to anyone who is willing to learn and is willing to give. It's a pro bono thing. No payment asked. Nothing. I just ask you two things. Can you learn? Because when people go to polytechnics or trainings, all they ask was, do you give certificates? I said, me, I don't give certificate. I give skills. And if you're willing to learn that skill, I'll give it to you, but never certificates. Probably I'm not the only. Besides, I'll go to jail if I give certificates. Is it correct? Yes, I go to jail if I get certificates. So I give skills. And I call it pay it forward. Means expression for describing the beneficiary of a good deed, repaying to others instead of the original benefactor. People have given me opportunities as well. They've given me a scholarship. They've given me everything that I am now. I've been to jail as well in the Philippines. I'm a political prisoner. So people have also given me freedom. So I pay it forward here. My program is a learn and earn program. No one would go to a youth, no one would ever go to a program says, you can learn something out of this. And nothing for their family, especially in the ghetto. Everyone is doing, what do you call it in Sheng? Hustling. Yeah, everyone is hustling in the ghetto for them to eat for that day. So in my program, they learn 20% of their time in classroom and earning 80% of their time with me in the field. Part of that earning goes back to the program to pay others when they come for the next session. Isn't it cool? You earn, you learn. They learn 5 set skills in my program because I talked to industry. What do they need? They need carpenters, very good carpenters. They need masons. They need plumbers. They need electricians. They need people who can install renewable energies. And I can teach anyone. Carpentry to women. And surprisingly, cooking to boys. And this concept can be learned or can be done with anything. You can use it. I've been running the program for over a year now. And people have been asking me, will this work in Kenya? So of course. I have 2 batches, finished 2 batches, on my own, hopping from classroom to classroom from people who are kind-hearted in the slums, and people who believe that the youth can change given the opportunity, and with the support of my partner who feeds me, who clothes me, and she came here also as a volunteer. And yes, I said yes, they do. But then they ask again, will this work really? When Kenyans are perceived to be individualistic and tribalistic. I said, it doesn't matter. 2 batches after trained 40 well-trained men and women, I think it works. And I tell them it works only because you have invested on it. People have been paying forward, and these students have been paying forward. And just last week, we were able to register our own school. It's called Technical Community Training Institute, the first ever pay-forward technical vocational education training institute in Kenya. We will be training Kenyans for pro bono, for free. You come to our school, you train, we give you a job. Because our school, it doesn't only train you. We source out jobs. Most schools here in Kenya, they train you. But then after that, you just fend for yourself. But it doesn't close the loop. You have to close the loop in order for them to pay forward. If they don't earn, they cannot pay for the next batch. So in our school, we say, we give you learning, we also give you the way to earn. And I've convinced my own countrymen, who are my students in the Philippines, who have been working abroad, to come to Kenya to volunteer their time and skills for 1 year or 2. And they said, yes, we will pay it forward. And my 40 students has also formed their own company. It's called Handyman International. It's owned by them, run by them, in the slums of Madare and Kibera. And they said, we will help your school. Together, we will make a difference in Kenya. As long as everyone pays it forward. And my challenge to all of you here, to anyone listening, let's support Kenyan youth by paying it forward. Thank you.